closely. Meanwhile, we're shifting focus to some news that's trickling in from the Middle East. Now, Israel and Hamas have signaled that they are preparing for the next phase of ceasefire negotiations as mediators have pushed ahead with talks to extend the fragile 42-day truce that began early in January. Hamas has stated that there were positive indicators for the start of the ceasefire second phase, especially talks related to the second phase. However, they did not elaborate. Israel has also stated that it is preparing for discussions and has accepted the invitation of the mediators that is backed by the United States of America. They will all send their delegations to Doha in Qatar in an effort to advance the negotiation. My colleague Aditya Vadvan is here with us to provide more details. Aditya, share what your sources are telling you.
Well, Priya, if we see, this meetings by the Israeli between the Israeli side and Hamas comes at a time when Hamas has earlier rejected the extension of the ceasefire deal between the two sides. Recently, there have been a lot of words between both the sides. Because on not being or because Hamas so far hasn't also released all the hostages, Israeli hostages. And this has invited anger from United States of America as well as Israel. And recently, what we saw, U.S. President Donald Trump has also warned Hamas that it should immediately release all the Israeli hostages, otherwise there will be a problem. But still, after that, there has been no constructive, talks between the two sides regarding this. So now that is why, the Hamas as well as the Israeli delegation will hold talks regarding this ceasefire deal and the exchange of hostages in Doha, and that it is a very possibility that the meeting could also be, attended by the head of the Egypt and Jordan, because
They've
earlier
been involved in
Donald Trump
negotiations so far.
yeah, that is why, and Donald Trump has been saying that all the Palestinians should be taken in by Egypt and Jordan. Yes, Pia. So this is a very complex situation that is evolving in the Middle East, and it needs to be seen how on from here in how the things proceed. Yes, Pia.
All right, Aditya. Thank you for joining us on the broadcast, sharing all those details. Viewers, we also have with us Major General Sudhakar Ji, who's a defense expert. So good morning and thank you for speaking to NewsX. How positive are you of the negotiations catalyzing into a concrete deal? We've seen the first phase, the negotiations had ended and catalyzed into a deal during the Biden administration, few of the last days of the Biden administration itself, right before Trump was sworn in as a president. And it's been a very fragile truce since then. So do you think they will be successful in forging ahead with the second phase of the deal?
Pia, good morning. Thank you for getting me to your show. I am very optimistic. Not because positive results are around the corner, but because of the hope. What else can you look for in today's the geopolitical churn, the kind of mayhem taking place, whether it is in Central Europe or in Middle East? The least that the humanity expects and deserves is some kind of a peace. So therefore, I am like a normal human being, although I am army general. But every human being should be aspiring for the similar kind of outcome. So having said that, now let me take my answer articulation through the likely pitfalls. You see, these are very complex negotiations. Earlier also similar kind of initiatives have been taken, but at that point in time, we did not have a world-class leader who would dig in his heels like Donald Trump. Now, here is a change. This new paradigm or new initiative for peace is taking place, or steps are being taken to reach a practical solution. Donald Trump has made it very clear, now or never. So whatever are the hostages, 59 or whatever figure, exact figure is best known to Hamas. Even Israel also may not be having the actual record. So these hostages, they have to get back. Alive or dead or whatever form it is, they have to get back and they have to be returned to Israelis. I am very, very optimistic because of a couple of issues. You see, the first and foremost thing, the consequences of this deal not going ahead is disastrous, and Donald Trump is not going to spare Hamas any moment or not going to give any chance hereafter. Whatever Israelis have done, he is going to double down for sure. One. Number two, there are, to my understanding, I have been trying to pick and choose from the open source of intelligence. There are backdoor diplomacy dialogues in progress with Iran. I'm very confident that here also Donald Trump is going to have a great success. He will not allow Iran to go nuclear. And also, at the same time, it is being made very clear to Iran that the weakened tentacles when we talk about the Houthis, we talk about the Hamas, we talk about the Hezbollahs, although the fragile ceasefire with Hezbollah is it's coming to limelight very often. It's being broken time and again. And also we have another group called Shahbil Abad. So that group, 4H, Hasad Shabil Ada. So there are 4H tentacles which have been significantly weakened, and Israel rightly is focusing on the established routes of supply chain management through Syria, going up to West Bank, trying to choke all possible routes of entry and exit, so that the Hamas and the Hezbollah and these four tentacles, they do not have free access into West Bank or into Israeli territory. So that part is being taken care of. Last but not the least is that the resolve which Donald Trump has been showing right from 20th of January after he assumed presidency, I think this is something to reckon with, needs to be acknowledged worldwide. There is definitely, the expectations are very, very high. And if push comes to shove, he will go to any limit. But he will secure peace and ceasefire and bring this mindless conflict to an end, provided his ultimate objective is to make sure that Iran doesn't go nuclear.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, providing your perspective. We will keep our eyes peeled for what's going to be the outcome of this second phase of negotiations, whether it will catalyze, result in a deal or